Today I'm going to be installing this diesel heater on my van. I've determined that this is going to be the best spot for it. I've cut away the subfloor and the insulation, which I previously installed. This is the passenger rear corner for reference, and it's the best place for my layout, as you'll see later on. So this plate is included in every diesel heater kit, and I'm going to be using it first of all to figure out where the holes go and how this is going to be mounted on the floor. There are these humps, just like on any van. The floor is not flat. We have to figure out what we're going to do with those humps. So keep watching and I'll show you what I end up doing with those. I also want to note this is a 2 kilowatt diesel heater. They come in 2 kilowatt or 5 kilowatt, and the 2 kilowatts are smaller, so a 5 kilowatt heater would not fit where I'm about to put this one. So there you can see the inner fender, see the hump in the floor there. So this is where the exhaust and the intake will be coming out through the bottom, and the fuel line going in. So that's where it needs to be. It's pretty tight clearance in here, but it should work. I want it to suck air from up high, and then it'll blow hot air underneath the water tank to keep that warm, under the cabinet there, and then out towards the main living area. This duct will be different, but this is the placement. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. I think I'm going to use this galvanized plate on the underside, and have the heater sitting straight on the floor of the van. But I do have to do something about this hump. I'm thinking cutting out a rectangle here, and then maybe pounding this down with a hammer. It's probably a terrible idea, but just want to remind everyone this is not a how-to or a recommendation. This is just entertainment. You're watching me figure it out as I go along and probably do things wrong. Another thing I'm considering is just cutting this whole hump out, cutting near the top, so as not to affect this channel that's underneath, and then sort of with these sidewalls, hammering them flat, and then just covering with a piece of sheet metal here to make a nice flat surface and basically start at square one that way. I do have extra sheet metal from cutting this part of this roof away that was sort of a cabinet before. So use a nice flat section of already painted white sheet metal there, and then yeah, being just able to get to square one and start installing a diesel heater. So I think I'm gonna go with that. Let's get after it. right, I allowed some time for the paint to dry. It is dry, same on this. Thought I had some of this, but I also had to run out and buy some. I was hoping to get the smaller size, but that's all they had. I think I don't actually need this for today. Save it for maybe next time I use this. Right. Just for good measure. This hole in particular is for the wiring to drop through the floor to control the fuel pump, and the connector for the fuel pump is much bigger than this hole, so you actually need to drop it through this hole and then guide the wire over to here. So we do need to cut a channel so that can happen. Got my eye protection, just need the gloves. So from drilling, we've got more exposed metal, which will inevitably lead to rust. Obviously with the bigger holes, I used the spray paint to protect it, but for smaller holes, I like nail polish. It's fast to dry, easy to apply with this brush. It's perfect. It's like it was designed for painting the inner edge of holes. Just a bit of a burr here. There you go. That's gonna dry really quick and we can get back to work. In the meantime, I'm gonna cut this down a little bit so that it fits on the underside. So we're moving to the underside. There's the heater, and I ran this cord through, which is the fuel pump connector. So do the same with this guy. Some of the kits, this is the hole for the fuel line. Some of them I've seen come with that hole sort of mirrored here, 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 to make it a little bit more flexible for the install, but this one just has one fuel line hole, so be careful of that if you're doing one of these. You want to get it lined up correctly. See how it's upside down. That is going to work. So fuel pump wire through there. done a undercarriage wash before this. There we go. Great. Also should have brought the nuts, but I'll go get the nuts now. These are 10 millimeters. So just want to be clear that I'm completely winging it, but had this extra exhaust from a different diesel heater, and I thought maybe I'll just extend the intake to get it farther from the exhaust and a little bit more out of the road grind zone. I'm hoping to get it to be up right behind the spare tire-ish, and that longer tube should allow for that. This might be a terrible idea, might be a neutral idea. It's probably not a good idea, but let me know what you think. It doesn't fit. So seemingly it's worked. So it's mounted up, installed. We need to do ducting, wiring, and fuel routing, fuel pump mounting, but that's all going to be a different day. Here's the mess I made. I'm going to clean that up and see y'all next time.